Step on his tail. Humiliate him. Glitch shrieked the command in my head. I obeyed. I rained blows on the wolf shifter. My words a steady stream of insults. My heel dug into the thick fur of his tail. His most sensitive spot. Killian burned. His body trembled. Muscles locked in rigid restraint. Look. Glitch cheered, voice dripping with triumph. He's shaking with rage. He can't even speak. I nodded and ground my heel down harder, but I missed the detail. The wolf I was humiliating didn't look hateful. He looked ravenous. Like he wanted to devour me whole. Step on his tail. Humiliate him. Glitch shrieked the command in my head. I obeyed. I rained blows on the wolf shifter. My words a steady stream of insults. My heel dug into the thick fur of his tail. His most sensitive spot. Killian burned. His body trembled. Muscles locked in rigid restraint. Look. Glitch cheered, voice dripping with triumph. He's shaking with rage. He can't even speak. I nodded and ground my heel down harder, but I missed the detail. The wolf I was humiliating didn't look hateful. He looked ravenous. Like he wanted to devour me whole. Chapter 1. Consciousness snapped back. I was sudden now. Killian knelt before me. His large hands held my foot, sliding a shoe onto it with practiced ease. He rose to his full height. His gaze was glacial. Anything else, sudden? What do I do now? I projected the panic to Glitch. I could feel the system shuffling metaphorical pages in my brain. Hold on. I haven't finished this book yet. I'll let you know when I get to this part. My brain stalled. Seriously? They say reality is just a giant glitchy simulation. But even the AI was incompetent. I'm new at this. Glitch whined. The script is a nightmare. The seniors were too scared to touch it. They dumped it on me. Just improvise. Host. I'll catch up. God help me. This was a total airhead system. I scanned the room, desperate. I grabbed a glass of water from the table and splashed it right into Killian's face. He ducked his head slightly. The temperature in the room seemed to drop below freezing. Water beads traced a path down his dark, wet hair and over the sharp cut of his Adam's apple. My breath hitched. The white dress shirt clung to him instantly translucent. The ridges of his chest definition pressed against the wet fabric, defined abs carved through the cotton. I swallowed hard. Definitely a shifter. Built different. Keep going. Glitch buzzed. I snapped back to reality. Right. Don't get seduced. I stood up and raised my hand to slap his face. Miscalculated. My palm slammed into his solid pectoral muscle. Thwack. Dead silence. I swear I didn't mean to touch him there. The man was a giant, even at 5'7". I only reached his chest. You're doing great, Sudden. Glitch cheered, sounding oblivious. Look, his ears are burning red. I looked up. Killian's ears were flushed a deep, violent crimson, like they were engorged with blood. That's from anger? Totally. Glitch confirmed. Hit him again. Humiliate him. I raised my hand for a second strike. Killian caught my wrist mid-air. His grip was firm. Hot. Stop it. His voice was a low growl, raspy, rough like sandpaper. Pearl is in the hospital. I need to go. He didn't wait for a response. He turned and walked away. Chapter 2. This was a first. He didn't ask for permission. He just left. His retreating figure radiated a desperate sort of dignity. Pearl was his tether, his only blood. Without her medical bills piling up, a predator like him wouldn't be leashed to a trust fund brat like me. He wouldn't be my kept thing. And my role? The villainess. The toxic ex. I had to break him down, treat him like a mongrel, and fuel his rage until it hardened into ambition. 3 years from now, he'd be the titan of industry holding a monopoly on the city. I'd be the bankrupt ex-Yankee groveling at his feet. A perfect stepping stone for his epic romance with Clara. It was a trashy script, totally brain dead, but I had to play the part to get back to reality. Found it. Glitch's voice cut through the noise. Finally, the plot loaded. Okay, next scene. Slap him. Hard. Tell him he's your property. A dog that only obeys you, Jesus. That's heavy. Glitch shrugged in my mind. Don't look at me. I didn't write this garbage. I sighed. Time to go hunt down my victim and finish the humiliation conga line. I found him cornered near the lockers. Hayes and his crew had him surrounded. The insults were flying. Filthy stray. Sutton's little lapdog. Gigolo. Killian's fists were white-knuckled at his sides. A thick vein pulsed dangerously against the side of his neck. His jaw was set so hard I thought his teeth might shatter. But he didn't strike. He couldn't. Hayes's family sat on the board of the hospital treating Pearl. One phone call, and her insurance vanishes. She gets kicked out to the curb. Don't worry. Glitch narrated. When he rises to power, he destroys them. He burns their legacies to the ground. He's vindictive like that. Do I have a line here? I asked. Nope. Glitch said. The script is blank for you here. You're off the clock. Free will. Finally, my body moved before my brain caught up. I had zero tolerance for bullies. It triggered a nasty, violent itch in my brain. Hayes was tapping his hand against Killian's cheek. Disrespectful, degrading, pretty face. No wonder Sutton bought you. Shame about the. My boot connected with Hayes's lower back. Thud. Hayes sprawled onto the linoleum, eating dirt. The circle scattered. Shock replaced malice when they saw me. Sutton. Thought you skipped today. I stepped between them and Killian. My shield was up. I glared at Hayes. Who gave you permission to touch him? Silence. Hayes groaned from the floor, rubbing his hip. He looked genuinely confused. You did? Last week? The others nodded in unison. My heroic savior face cracked, awkward. Glitch whispered. He's right. That was definitely your order. Chapter 3. I turned to Killian. His face was a mask of calm, but his eyes said it all. He knew I was the architect of his misery, even if I just played savior. Panic, no. Do not spiral. If I don't feel the cringe doesn't exist. I cleared my throat. Killian belongs to me, I announced, voice steady. From now on, nobody touches him but me. Hayes and his crew exchanged nervous glances. They were rich, sure, but my family? We were the kind of wealthy that could buy their father's companies and dissolve them for sport. They scrambled, dragging Hayes up and vanishing down the hall. Killian stared at me, dumbfounded. He clearly hadn't expected me to stand up for him. Host. Glitch buzzed urgently. The plot. Fix it. Right? Back to being a monster. I needed leverage. I gestured for him to lower himself. He was too tall to intimidate properly. He crouched slightly. I swung. My palm connected with his jaw. Hard. You are my dog. Killian, I spat, trying to inject venom into the words. You only listen to me. But the venom evaporated instantly. Pain. God. His face was made of granite. The impact vibrated up my arm, shattering my composure. My hand throbbed violently. Tears sprang to my eyes. Instant, physiological betrayal. My voice cracked on the last word, turning my threat into a pathetic whimper. Killian froze. He wasn't looking at my anger. He was staring at my wet lashes. His throat worked. I watched his Adam's apple bob a slow, heavy swallow. He reached out. His thumb, rough and callous, brushed against my cheek. The friction sent a weird jolt through my nerves. He caught a tear before it could fall. I get it, he murmured, his voice low and inexplicably gentle. Don't cry. What? Wait, Wait, Glitch whispered, that felt wrong, that felt very wrong, before we could analyze the glitch in the matrix. His phone buzzed, he answered, his face drained of color. Pearl, her condition had tanked, she needed surgery. Now, the cost was astronomical, a number that would bury the current Killian alive. Glitch started panic flipping through the dig.